Welcome back to another episode of the Film Hackers Talk Show. I'm so happy you're here. Banange, if you don't have a notebook, I don't know which episode you're going to buy the notebook on, because we are giving you free education, free knowledge, and the best part about it is the stakeholders in film are very eager and happy to share this information. This is unprecedented. Tetugenda basaba school fees, that's not going to happen, but you can take all the notes that you take from this show and apply it in your life and apply it in your work and just have good productions. That's all we want. And speaking of good productions, sound is a very critical and essential part of production. And that's what we are talking about today. The art of capturing audio elements during filming and what that encompasses. And to talk about that today, I have with me very, very special people, and I'm excited to meet them for the first time, which is great. And I'm excited for what they're about to share with you, because one thing Uganda really suffers, not just in film production, is sound. We suffer sound in our live videos. We suffer sound in Vivulu, you know? So this is a very important conversation. Today on the show, in the right corner, weighing enough pounds, standing on his wallet and talent, I am excited to welcome Soundman Omumpi, Mr. Ssemujju Isima. He's a sound engineer, mixer, and recordist, and he studied drama and film at Makerere. He's been known for films like 16 Rounds, starring Michael Wawuyo Jr., a favorite, Honorable, Sanyu, The Campus, the list is long, even going as far back as Hostel, and I'm very, very happy to have you on the show. Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good.
You look good.
Thank you.
Thank you, I'm fine too. Also, on the left corner, weighing enough sound, the sound is measured in decibels, weighing enough decibels to carry us through this conversation. He's known for Engaito, The Passenger, JDC, Isiko Express, the list is long. He's an award-winning sound designer and director and a multi-choice talent factory alumni. I'm very excited to welcome to the show Mr. Isiko Abubaker. Welcome, how are you?
I'm very immersive.
I am happy to hear. That means it's going to be a good show.
Yes, exactly.
So let's actually start right off the bat. What is the most important part of sound recording for film? Just, start from the top. Let's start with you.
To me, I say sound takes 60%, because you can watch like a bad movie when the video is not really crispy, but when the sound is really nagging, you can't take 10 minutes into that movie, you'll switch.
Yeah.
So that's how important sound is.
That is very true. Abubaker?
Sound is very important. I know everyone knows this guy called George Lucas. It's Lucas Films and stuff. So this guy said that sound is 50% the experience. So 50% takes 50%, with the rest of other stuff, the picture, the what. So sound is very important. So we have to take it as a very serious thing.
That's the biggest percentage, because when you think of the other, I guess, what do they call it? The other players in film production that you of course collaborate with, and you're taking 50%. Pressure is on the sound guy. Pressure is on the sound woman. I like the sound.
Yet it's the least department that is thought about in production.
I want us to get into that. Why is it the least, yet the pressure and the percentage is the biggest?
Maybe I'm not the right person to answer that. This question should be going to producers and directors, because they prepare that. And in most cases, we realize that we get to be called. You can bear witness that sometimes we get to be engaged about a certain production one day to the production. They haven't even engaged you to do location scout or understand all the things, the nitty-gritties that you need to know about to get good audio. So I don't know why
the
they
producers
do it like
need to tell you why.
Why?
I'm curious, because I would think, you're part of the conversation, building the project from the ground up. What has been your experience in forcing your way to have that conversation from the ground, as opposed to being called, like you said, one day before actual production.
So one thing I also wanted to add on the other thing is, you know, we are always remembered and we are always given attention after the production. Yeah. When things go south. So now they're like, this sound is bad, what. So kumbe, when you are giving your issues and saying like things are very tough on set, people are just focusing on the DPs. You know, our directors here, they always kukutaling with the camera operators, the DPs. So kumbe, you are there suffering, even if they are giving big, like they are framing in situations whereby you won't get the crisp sound that you want. But now, since you can't talk, actually we are not allowed to talk.
But your sound, how is sound not allowed to?
That's the problem, yes. It's the department that, one of the departments that are undermined when it comes to production. A producer will invest all the money in getting the good cameras, the Aries, and then they want to compromise your budget as a sound department. Not to give you the right equipment that is, because I would say the equipment I have to use for a Netflix production differs from what I might have to use for my wedding. Not that I'm undermining other, let's say YouTube or other content.
Different makers, scale, it's a different scale.
You need to know that, okay, this is where the content is going. Yeah. And I also have to live to that. Yeah. Don't spend money on one end and then expect the other department to do miracles.
I want to know how you deal with that in the industry, because at the end of the day, the sound guy saves the day. We've seen this happen many times, right? Yeah. Yes. So how do you ensure that you're not just a hero in the film industry? Because sometimes you're hero, sometimes you're forgotten. When you're not forgotten, they're like, Banange, call, you know, Abubaker, fix this situation. How do you make sure that you are in the conversation? Like what moves can you make to ensure that you're there?
First of all, we always like, and this is like a tip, we always have to be friendly to these camera operators and the DOPs, because these guys, we are not allowed to talk. You see us there holding the boom, but we are suffering deep down inside. Yeah. Because these people, you go there, then you're like, I'm not happy. They're like, even if when you're miking, you know, we get issues, and then like, I want to fix this. So you go there, and then you start miking, and then they're like, you sound right to release it. But now, if it is the camera guy operating the camera, everyone will be very comfortable. They will wait for him to do everything that he needs.
20 minutes.
20 minutes, 30.
But you can't even be given 2 minutes.
2 minutes, yes.
Guy, you've suffered.
You have really suffered. And then
maybe, because I don't want even to think that they don't understand the importance of good sound or good quality sound. But maybe let's talk about that. What is the importance of high quality sound that people need to know when they are planning? You plan with the sound guy, not call the sound guy after planning. Like, why is it important to have high quality, good sound in film?
I think let me go first. First of all, when I was growing up, I didn't know why, because before I wasn't a sound guy, I wanted to do acting. I wanted to be like Schwarzenegger, John Rainbow. What I even went to, I went to Makerere University. I studied with Isima.
We're in the same class.
Same class. Nice. Yeah. So after, when I went into sound, you know, these people, the audience were like, film za wana Uganda tebinyuma. The film ya wana Uganda byantama. So when I realized, when I started doing sound, that's when I realized why people don't like our films. Reason one, when people are talking, this dialogue. Yes. This is like a conversation. People are like taken into a journey, the audience. So we are looking at these guys talking. So when we are talking, we don't need distractions. For example, traffic, what. So now, when these people we are doing, when these people, our people, when they are doing films, those people, I'm talking about people who don't do nice sound. Yes, people who are not giving attention to sound.
Back then when we didn't like the content.
Yes. So people are talking and then we are hearing traffic, pa 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 pa, they are not. The traffic is not within the. Is not taking the story. Is not motivating the story, but it's on its own. Noise, you see. So the audience is not following up.
Yes.
And we are not vibing with the story. So that's a distraction for the audience. So if you don't give that, we don't note that, just know that we are going to suffer a lot. And it's like, I want to sum up, it's just like storytelling. We have to like focus. We have to do nice sound so that we make our audience follow the story. Because story starts with good sound. Yes.
And it's very interesting that even in, I guess, films or productions where there is not much dialogue, the attention to a well-produced thing, the attention to sound is still, you know, you can hear that the walking, you know, they made sure the walking was crisp. If it's maybe a cement floor, you know, you hear like a slipper, you know, even when there's no dialogue, there are those small things that really just enhance the feature. Maybe you can carry on.
Sound is really important in a way that you have to engage the location, actually both departments in audio, post and location. We should be able to talk before we even go on set. So that when I'm recording, I know what Isiko is expecting to find on his desk, that I will give him the right Foley. Foley, these are the added, like additional, when you're getting the footsteps. Am I able to plan for that? He mentioned storytelling. And I'm telling a story. If we are locked in here, you're not seeing any road, but then you're hearing lots of horns and stuff. Am I really doing justice to the story? We are locked in a cage. So I have to add to that story that the director is communicating. And that's why it's really important to engage the sound department from scratch. We've gone to sets and you realize that the DP and the director are actually focusing on the beauty of the visuals, not considering. They'll go and, they'll take you to a location because it's a nice apartment. They haven't considered that next door there is a construction site. Cars are coming in, heavy trucks are coming in, there's no trucks. The builders are banging all the time. And then you expect that we will do miracles. No, we can't. We are not. We'll do our best. But at the end of the day, when I give him an audio that has a lot of extra ambient sound, you will over-clean it, and then you will get artifacts.
What's artifact?
Okay, you will find that the voice is no longer that natural.
Almost grainy.
Yes, because it has already been cleaned to bring it to that quality that you want.
Man. You know, I know many, you know, aspects of film have a lot of challenges, but from what I'm hearing, the challenges are challenging in the sound department. And you know, you've pointed a little bit on why it's important and how you even run into some of these problems that you need to iron out, you know, when you're coming up with, you know, your sound plan for the film. But let's get some more into those challenges, because once you reach location, you've been told what to do, or maybe before you even reach location, there's unique problems that arise. I want to hear what those problems are.
Before that, I wanted to tell you, when I was at Multi-Choice Talent Factory in Nairobi, we had this teacher called Vikram from Dolby. So, you know, I came from Uganda when I was doing location sound. So this is the guy who was teaching us post-production, Dolby, surround sound and stuff. So I sat down and then wrote all the challenges that we were facing in Uganda in terms of recording location sound. So because when he was talking about recording 5.1 what on set, we have to do clean audio, what. So when he said that, so I sat down and then I started writing the problems we are facing at home when recording sound. So I told this guy, so what do you do there in your Hollywood sets, what do you do with this traffic, these people who are talking? The guy just told me, just control the traffic. I'm like, For us, we don't control traffic. For us, we just go, we choose a nice place and then we start shooting. Just tell the guys to control traffic. Like, okay.
That is a powerful solution.
So
Is it possible?
I just realized that.
It is possible because I remember, before I started doing sound in 2016, but in 2017 I was doing a part-time in production. I remember in 2017, one of our colleagues, Adnan, was the sound recordist then for Mpeke Town Season 1.
Okay.
But as a locations department, I had to make sure that there isn't any interruption whatsoever. Yeah. I remember a director one time sending the set runner to chase away a cock that was in the distance. He was like, go slaughter it or kill it, otherwise I don't want interruptions. I want my sound person to get crispy audio. Yeah. We were shooting next to the roadside. We had to stop the cars. We had to hire police and traffic police to be on site to control. That's how important sound is. Yeah. Yes. And those other countries respect it. But here we don't have the budget, but at least we should be able to do the little effort that we can.
Yeah, I think that's what the producers and the ADs what on set have to put into consideration. We know we can't control traffic because that's very expensive, but there are things that are very easy that people can do, very cheap things that they can do that can save the sound on set.
I would like to hear some of those things.
Yes,
but first go to the list. I want to hear what was on that list that you shared in the diaspora. Embarrassing us in people.
No, I was just reporting our problems. I was looking for solutions because we were really suffering. You know, it would be very unfair if I don't mention this guy called Adnan Senkumba. Yeah, Adnan, thank you very much for that kind heart. That guy, he put us on his back. He carried us on different sets. People learned us and knew us that we do exist. We had a breakthrough. It's a breakthrough. I wanted to say breakthrough.
That one.
We had a very wonderful breakthrough. It was a fast and furious. Yeah. It was so fast. Yeah. You know, we just left campus and then we had boom into the industry. People now know us. In just like 4 months, people started knowing us, and then we started getting gigs. Thank you very much, Mr. Adnan Senkumba. You are not.
Yeah, actually, I'm also thanking
that's your comment.
Thank you, Uncle, as we usually call him. Yeah, Uncle Dinani. Yes. Yeah, he has been really a good mentor, by the way.
I like that because that means that the situation you were talking about of Ugandan saying, so Ugandan films and sound, no. Yeah. That's going to happen less because you people are being guided and also now in turn are guiding others and then also now in turn are guiding others. Yeah. That would lead me to think that some of the challenges you face, honestly, at this point in time, have been reduced because of how many hands are helping, the sound industry. Yeah. Is that?
It's somehow actually changing because at least now I know one of the other departments that usually give us challenge besides the camera department or light department, the camera department having those extreme wide shots that can favor you to get your boom to the right spot to capture the crispy audio. Then the light department sometimes leaving their jaws really making noise. So now we've come to terms and that you talk to them and you be like, your gel is flapping and it's making noise. The other department that used to give us really crazy problems is the costume department. The choice of the materials that they choose can give you a lot of crazy rush. So you're there recording and then you're getting the costume thing. You're like, oh no. So sometimes that's actually why I say that it's important to engage this department earlier, because you can talk to, as a sound person, then you're given a chance to talk to the costume department that, when you're choosing, don't get me linen, don't get silk, get this, let's get cotton, all this other kind of material so that I also don't suffer in post. Yeah. Because if I get bad audio, the cast or the production might be forced to go in for ADR. But the problems of the ADR are there. One, it's expensive for the production. because you have to pay for studio time. You have to facilitate the actors to come back and re-record this. It also, if you had to deliver at a particular time, you're not going to beat the deadline. But also, I will speak this from an actor's background. It's not that easy for an actor to recreate those emotions when they're just in studio. For ADR, it's really hard. And we don't have so many professional actors. I'm sorry to mention, we don't have so many professional actors that are able to recreate those emotions. And of recent, we've turned to save the situations that when you're on location and you feel like this scene has given me issues, I will go on the side and talk to the director and the AD to at least give me extra 5 minutes to re-record on set. Just one take, we call them wild lines. A take for audio. Cameras are not rolling, but with the undiscipline that we have, you're recording your wild lines and then some crew members or actors are speaking in the background. Yet you're saving the production. But then they think that you're taking your sweet time. Yes.
And you talked a little bit about professionalism. Is that one of the main hindrances for, sound guys? Because you said they forget about you, they put you in the background. Is it just unprofessional? Like, are directors, producers, the crew, are they just being unprofessional?
I don't want to say it.
You don't want to say it. Let me
but
say
what
it.
I want to say.
What do you want to say?
They are so reluctant.
Reluctant. That's a kind word. And I feel like maybe if the professionalism was upped a bit, would things get better? Like some of those challenges. Honestly, now do you need a class prefect to start telling people, keep quiet, don't make noise?
One thing I know is because we are suffering a very big problem of lack of experience. And I don't know if lack of experience is in line with the unprofessionalism.
No, not really.
Yes, that's why I didn't want to say the unprofessional. Technology is growing, and we as sound guys, we are learning new technologies. We are trying to upgrade our equipment, what. Because we know that the more you upgrade, the more quality that you give our beautiful producers, our beautiful directors.
That we love very much.
Yes, but now what they don't know is that if we upgrade, they also have to upgrade here. So they always compromise our budgets, which is also a very big problem. It also disturbs us because you have to, we are having a very big scene, 5 people. You have to make all of those people. But now this guy is telling you, I don't have budget for those mics. And then remember, we are going to mic these guys, and if we mic, just know if they give you a budget for one lapel, one wireless microphone, and then they will tell you that that's what we want, that's what we have, that's the budget that we have.
And they tell you make it work.
Yes. So now remember, you'll be like, now I will be using a boom. So when you reach there, now this camera operator DOP is giving you a very big wide that you can't even try to put your microphone. So now those are also the biggest challenges that we are facing here. And then I don't know whether our producers will always think about that as the very biggest challenge, because they have this tendency of calling us with our equipment that you come.
So do they hire it?
They want to hire you with all of your stuff.
So they hire you and then they don't hire the equipment?
Yes.
So how do you build that situation?
It's a thing of like they will say that, okay, I have this much for you and your equipment. Yes. But there is actually one time when I actually asked a certain producer that, okay, have you ever called a DOP on set to come with the camera? Why do you take time to hire the camera separate and hire the DOP separate, hire the lights separate, and hire the gaffer separate, buy costumes, get the costume designer, but then you want me as a sound person to come with my gadget? Actually, as Isma, I might be lenient on you. And I come because we know each other. Probably you have that background. We are friends and stuff. I might give you a discount on labor. My equipment doesn't know you. Because once it gets spoiled, you won't be there. I'll need to get money to replace these mics, get damaged on set. Many of the times when you go on set, by the time you finish, you have 2 or 3 even if it's just one, it has gotten damaged, and it's not cheap.
It's not.
Just this head, by the time it gets here, sometimes you've spent like 900.
And the actors break our microphones.
That is a serious challenge. I think now that one is maybe unprofessionalism and also lack of experience.
It's a mixture.
It's a mixture, I would think.
They undermine the department.
You think it's So how do we fix that? Because I've had this conversation before. I think the last time we talked about sound here, we had some key players. We had Mr. Andrew Ahura, we had Kaz Kasozi, and they really painted the picture of how important sound is and a future where sound is prioritized. What does that future look like? Because these, if they're unprofessional and they lack experience, that means every player on board, on set that day, needs to be trained to understand everyone's role so that they can respect it. Do the people on set understand your role as the sound engineer?
One question also. Okay, for them. Do the people on set know
Yes, in your experience.
Yes, I'm also trying to mix your question.
You're remixing.
Yes, I'm remixing. So do the people on set know their roles?
Good question.
Or do the people on set, do you take time to understand the ethics of the set?
Yes.
So because now there is this many sets that we have here in Uganda, because we know our role, we are hired, you come, record sound. We want quality sound. Now here comes, we have situations whereby noise just comes abruptly. You are recording and then noise comes. You are recording and then people are talking. So now these ADs, assistant directors, so they want us, with the sound guys, to go tell the people who are talking to stop talking.
People you didn't hire.
People we didn't hire, because that's not our job, because the ADs, they run the sets. So they have to control, to make sure that the scene or the script is successfully shot. So now it's not our responsibility to start controlling the whole set, you know. So that is also a very big, serious problem that we are facing here in Uganda.
People not understanding their roles and the ethics of the set.
How do we fix that? Because the ethics of a set ideally come with the territory. You need to know the ethics of any job you're doing. You know what I mean? If I'm going to be an ice cream seller, I know I need my cartoon. I know you know the ethics of your role. So this lack of experience sounds like it's so deep-rooted that as if they're just picking people from the streets and dumping them on set. No,
I think part of the problem is due to the fact that most of the filmmakers, almost 60%, if not 80% of the filmmakers that we have, are doing it out of passion. And they most of them didn't take time to go study the craft. And so someone just wakes up and is like, yeah, I'm passionate, I'm a good storyteller, so I have my kamani, let me go on set. So he corrects people. So many people have been on sets, but they haven't been trained well. And I believe that there is still need for more master classes, more training and workshops for the filmmakers in all different departments.
I want to add on to Isma's point, because you know, we are all passionate, and then we all get chances because the whole process, you can be passionate, but you will not get a chance to be on set. So now, those people who get chances of going onto sets, it is not very easy for someone to wake up and then he's given this opportunity to go on someone's set. So when you get that chance, you guy, please, first of all, first learn how things are moving, because you'll be given tips or you'll be advised by anyone on set, someone who has experience. I know we are all passionate, but we have points whereby you'll be like, I'm going to specialize on this point. I'll be like the sound guy on set, because I will not do any other thing, but I will be a sound guy. So you guy who has just chosen that you're going to be a sound guy and you are passionate, one thing, you just go after the set, go home, Google is our friend. YouTube is our friend. Google your role, see what people do and what people don't do on set. That is very nice, actually. Yeah. And I will also take back the credits to Mr. Adnan Senkumba. This guy taught us how to know your role, and how to, you know, we were not given chances of being on those big sets. They've just started coming, and we are very grateful. But this guy was always taking us into Hollywood world. You know, we were using these simple mixers, but you mix as if you are using another high-end mixer. Because he was always taking us, we were doing research each and every day, each and every hour. You be on set and then you are researching on mixers. This one has been released. Yes, such stuff. So we were always talking about sound. So that culture, that Mr. Adnan, thank you very much.
How many Mr. Adnans are out there? Because you're talking from a place of an accomplished sound engineer, you know, an accomplished sound engineer in terms of experience, in terms of learning, in terms of even contributing to the culture and the growth of the industry. So are you the future Adnan? How many Adnans are out there? Is this learning accessible for a guy trying to get into sound today?
Yeah, it's very accessible because we are trying to mentor more, because we realized that even at a time, I would say, when I was switching from acting, for some reasons, I was like, where is the gap? And I fell in, I loved audio, but then later on I realized that actually there is a very big gap. Not so many people are taking sound serious. Everyone will, when they get on set, they'll be like, oh, I want to be an actor. I want to do camera. I want to direct. And we realized that there was a gap. And we reached a point whereby if I was on set with him, or if all of us were on different sets and we get calls for a certain day, there was a gap. Certain sets, actually, I remember after lockdown, when MultChoice commissioned some projects, there was a very big gap. Like, the industry lacked enough sound people. But I'm happy that now we have quite a number of them, because since that, we've utilized those projects to mentor more, and we are still training. So if the person is passionate, they can always come, and we will know that this person is really serious or this person is not serious. So we'll always mentor, and we always want to keep mentoring.
I like that.
I want to add on this guy's point, because it's where I was also coming. I wanted to, because since MultChoice came into this country with this commission and licensing, things have changed. They have massively changed because of the following reasons. Reason one, people started being professional in one way or the other. And if you don't want to be professional, you'll be forced to be professional. Because, yes, because we used to record sound, and you just record sound on set, and then the editor, you know, we didn't have post-production editors, sound editors.
We had a few, but producers never respected post-production audio.
No, I'm talking about a very bigger picture, because for the films that I've ever worked on previously, I've never seen someone going to edit the sound that we had. And you know, when you're recording, you feel like, because we record many channels, and if sound is very edited well, you know, when you edit, there is dialogue editing. They have to edit each and every actor. You choose one actor who is speaking, and then you cue the other lines, the other mics. Yes. So if that is done, you get crisp sound. If they're all combined in one channel and then they are put onto a film, they will not be as clear as possible. And we, the sound guys, we always, the location recordists, we always shine when we see someone going to edit, goes to post-production and then edits the dialogue that you recorded on set. Because now what I'm talking about is me and Isima, we are talking, but so I'm talking to Isima, we are in a scene, Isima is talking, and then I start touching myself. So I'm touching on my microphone. So this touching is affecting the whole channels. It is also affecting Isma's sound. So if you don't do editing, if you don't remove my microphone and then you just combine everything and then you put it on a video and then you export and then take it to the market. So this sound would be I would be affecting Isima's sound.
Yeah.
So that's why we were very happy to see that MultiChoice came, and then everyone was forced to have a post-production team for sound editing, whereby people have dialogue editors, sound designers, re-recording mixers, music, So we were forcibly sent into the professional world by force, and we're very happy about that. So thank you, MultiChoice.
I like that by force, because either way, if you don't grow with the industry and the demands of the audiences, because us as audience, our demands increase, you know? We are here on our phones with Dolby Atmos. How are you telling me to watch a movie where you can hear the sound combined, not even separate? Like, you know, how we have expectations as an audience. So let's talk a little bit about those do's and don'ts of sound recording, of field sound.
The do's and don'ts. One, it starts with your settings. Have your settings right. By one, inquiring from the producers, where is this content going? Because there are different specs required by different broadcasters. The specs for MultiChoice is different from what Netflix requires, is different from what our NTV, NBSs will require. They're different. It's different from what BBC requires. So sometimes you have to ask, get to know, and then also sometimes if you're given an opportunity to get in touch with a post-production team, ask them, what do you expect when you read through the script? What do you expect from my end? Yeah, have your settings right, have your sample rate and the bit rates set right. Even to some professional mixers, recorders or mixers, have your frame rates set right. Because they give you that option of setting the frame rates so that you are in sync. You're not recording, let's say in 25 frames, when the camera operator is recording 24 or 23.98. You have to get in sync, the audio team and the camera team.
Before post-production?
Before post-production.
That's a good checklist.
Check when you get on set. Then get to know, according to the kind of production I'm going for, what are the best tools that I have to go with. It will determine the kind of mics you are going to use and the kind of recorders. It takes me back to the specs. Because if it's a fully action sequence, I don't think I will prioritize having more of lapels. Yet I know if I go into that action sequence when they're fighting and talking, I will be having a lot of rustle. That means I have to invest in getting the best boom mics. So know the kind of, or the style you're going to shoot.
I've always wondered
Then
how they...
know the kind of director you're going to. Actually, make research about the directors you're going to work with. Because that will help you know, how do I behave on set? Are they the kind who listen to the audio department? Or are they the kind who just prioritize the performance?
Sometimes director, aliku checklist.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You have to know. Because you need to know that, is it the kind of the person who will give me time when I'm miking? Is he or she the kind of person who will give me an opportunity to re-record? Or is he the person is it the kind of set where I'll have to just steal the actors on the side? Get to know your DOP.
Yes.
So that you build rapport.
Yes.
Get to know your gaffer so that you connect. When the lights department is giving me issues on, like, for instance, they might place a light in an angle whereby every time I raise my boom, I'm getting the boom shadow. Are we able to collaborate?
I like that. We're going to talk about the collaboration because that checklist, although there are many words, I may have to Google later after this conversation. That checklist sounds like at this point in our sound life in Uganda, sound people should be having a better time, because if you use the checklist that you've given, it means you're going to be better prepared. You're going to be able to engage with, you know, the person you have stalked on social media, the DOP, to find out how they are or even inquired about them. So you are able to not be in the suffering. Is that what I'm hearing?
Then also on the checklist, you need to know what kind of locations are we operating in. You can be taken to, yes, it's indoor, but it's a big warehouse that has a lot of echoes. Yes, you're going to be on the street. You're going to be like deep in the village, where you won't even be able to get, let's say if you run out of batteries, you're in Karamoja, your card get messed, you don't have a backup. So the locations are also that key. That if I'm going up country, I need to know that if I'm also, actually the temperatures are very key according to the location, because those, if I'm recording in a very hot place that has high temperatures, that means my batteries will be running really fast. Where I'm using one box of batteries in Kampala, I will have to double or do times 3 when I go to Karamoja, because it's a hot place. Then I also need to know what kind of equipment I'm going to take in that place, because some machines heat up really fast and they're not really conducive.
It's interesting that temperature and the weather actually plays a part.
Yeah, the wind inconveniences us a lot of.
I can see the wind, definitely. So, Mr. Abubaker, your do's and don'ts.
Okay, so my do's and don'ts are not going to be, I'm just adding on to Isma's do's and don'ts, because it is a general do's and don'ts. And thank you very much. They were very mercifully highlighted. So, you know, I always want to give my do's and don'ts, also thinking about our budgets, our people that we are working with around here in Uganda. We don't have much money. We do our films and then they end up winning awards on our laptops. So they don't go anywhere further.
Bambi.
Yeah, so this guy gets his woman and then calls you and then you come do the sound. So these are the do's and don'ts for the people who are going to do sound, for those people I was talking about. So first of all, one do's, always make sure that you're a friend to the DOP or the director around you. Yes, those people, they're very dangerous. So those people, you be there well prepared, but then they can disorganize you in a very small second. And then they make you, okay, this is general, they make you panic in a way that you are not supposed to panic. You know, these people, they harass you, the actors, the other crew, the makeup, they can harass you. So when they just realize that you are just new to their faces, they harass you. I've seen this very many times for different people in different departments when they come new on set. So they make you feel like you are very small, you don't know what you are doing. And even if you know what you are doing, they will make you look like you don't know what you are doing. So be careful and just know about that. One thing, just make sure to be clear. And then just make sure you prepare very well and then know the people you're going to work with. Know how many people are in each scene that you're going to record. And then if know the lenses that they're going to, the shots they're going to shoot, because most of them, they change things. They can say we are going to shoot this shot and then in the long run they change. They give you a very big wide. So just know that the mics that you have are very enough, and if they're not enough, just make sure that when you when they are shooting, that's why I said you have to be friendly to the DOPs and the directors. Just talk to them that this wide is very big, or maybe if it is very big and they don't want to change, just make sure that they give you a shot for this guy, whereby a soft take, whereby you can boom a little bit so that you can get that sound. Because if you don't do that, my friend, they will take that bad sound and then they put it in a film, and then people will ask who did this, and then they will say this guy did.
Your credits.
They'll just say a guy got sound on charm. So just be careful.
I like that. Let's actually talk to the beginners, people trying to get into sound, because you say there's more now, which is exciting. What are some of those common mistakes that you've seen beginners make that really they, at this point in time, they don't have to be making?
I think it's mainly getting on set, minus inquiring from the directors and the producer that because they've called you that, we have set tomorrow, can you come through? You don't even take time to inquire how many people do I have in the scene, and then you just go. Then also knowing to, like, going back to inquire from, like before you get on set or before you start recording when you're on location, get to know the right. Like take time to set your levels. Get to know that this actor has a better, is more audible, and this actor is weak. Get to set all that on time. Get to analyze the different like challenges that you might have on set. Sometimes beginner, as even me, when I was beginning, so I couldn't mind asking the location people, that kindly help me switch off that fridge. Sometimes we get to fear to take such steps. Take those bold steps. And even when the sound is not good, don't fear to tell the director that, you know, this take was bad. Can I get a safety take? Those are some, they are really key, and they hope to save the situation.
I also had one thing you're saying without saying is pay attention, be attentive, vela mkiras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might be on set and there is something that is really disrupting you. Or when the costume is having issues, don't hesitate to at least ask that is there a better material, or if they can't change that, try to find another spot that can help you when you're miking so that you don't get those too many rustles.
I think those are problems that are overcomable, mistakes rather. Yeah.
Also, I want to add on Isma's point. One thing, obviously read the script, know what you're going to do. You don't get, normally you're not given scripts, by the way.
Yeah. Yes. No, sometimes because you're called, they are calling you today and then you're shooting tomorrow.
They can call even today when you're shooting today. So
yeah.
And you still don't get a script. So, that's interesting.
So what we do when you get into that situation, you go and say it, yes, because we need money. Yeah. And then people, I don't want to use unprofessional. People are reluctant. Yes, you will go there and then they will be like, no, they will think you know what we are doing. For them, they will think you know what they are going to shoot. So always be friendly to the ADs. Ask them how the scene is going to move. So that the blocking. And then they don't block. Most of them, they don't rehearse. They just start the scene. So just ask questions. Just find someone. I know it is, at times it's very unprofessional. No, when people are unprofessional, they make you look unprofessional. So also try to just know how the scene is going to move, and then you know what you're going to do. And then another thing, that was like reading the script and know. And the solution, if you're not given a script, what do you do? Another thing, know the lenses that they are going to use.
The lenses?
Lenses, yes. It's your responsibility to know the lenses. I don't know which lens I am looking into it, but because why? Because when we are recording, we put mics and also boom up. So when you are booming, because you as a boom swinger, when you know the lens that is on camera, it is very easy for you and to know how are you going to boom, how far are you going to put the boom onto the actor or the character. Then the other thing is always look into the frames of the different cameras that's on set. That is very easy. That's like goes with knowing the lenses that they are using, because at times they shift. they change. You know, you can look into a frame and you're like, that is the flame they are going to do. And then all of a sudden, the guy changes. And then you just hear, boom, in short. Then you're like, now how? Yeah. Yeah. So those things always happen. So just be, and also when you're booming, always you boom, and then you always put your eyes onto these guys, the camera guys, because you always boom, and then always peep there. Just sacrifice some seconds. Always look there, like maybe 5 seconds, 6 seconds. When you boom, you also look at them, how their reactions. You know, they be changing things there without telling you, because the scene is moving. So it's up to you to always look at them. Then you will see their reaction. When their faces are squeezed, just know the boom is in short. When their faces are happy, just know things are moving smoothly. So
that's very interesting.
Also, to just always inquire, like from the DPs, are you going to track, or is just a static shot? I know he has talked of the lenses. At one point, there's a certain DP who asked me, I will say this in Luganda, Yego sound lenzo zagazachi, because I kept asking that, okay, which lens are you at? Is it 24, 32, 35 what? And it's like, Yego sound lenzo zagazachi. Not knowing that you're actually minding about your angles as well.
The experience that we were talking about.
The other point is, as a sound department, you'll never be given time as a beginner, or even when you are a pro. So always take time, study the environment. It's key. And also don't get upset when things go wrong. They will poke you, they will provoke you, they will do whatever. But keep your calm and be happy. Now we are known for, they're like sound guys are always the one just like re-energizing the set, because you'll do things and we are staying cool and we are just there humming, singing to ourselves, being happy, because we don't want bad energy.
That is so important, by the way. And I like that you value not just what sound does for film, but even those little nitty-gritties that go into bringing the best sound for your production. I want us to round up the conversation on that. What are the things that an experienced sound engineer or all the titles should not be caught doing?
Should not be caught
They should not catch Mr. Isima or Mr. Abubaker doing these sound abominations. What are those abominations? Especially if you're experienced.
How do you get on set minus reading that script?
But they haven't given you
they haven't given you the script. Okay, when you get on set, do you take time to inquire from the director or the AD or the script supervisor to at least give you the slide and you read through really fast? Because script analysis is really key on our end. It's not just for the director. I also have to read and get to know that, okay, they're talking about this, now I'll need to capture this audio. Or if they don't provide you with a script, can you get to mic those actors really fast so that you correct your mistakes? Like as they are rehearsing, if they happen to rehearse.
It's funny that sometimes they don't.
Yeah. You can at least get time to study the blocking, but get to understand the set. Then how can you come on set and then you're like, sorry, I left my cable, or I left something that you know that is really important.
Yeah.
Planning.
Planning also includes that checklist.
Yeah.
Your checklist was really exhaustive. I like that. Those abominations that no one should suffer.
You can be your own problem.
Yeah.
You can be. I want to make a statement.
Sabula, let's go. We're on this road together.
So I wanted to arrange this English in. You can bring a problem. You can be your own problem to other people when you are a problem.
Yes.
But have you understood?
I've understood it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So, first of all, I'll also go back, I'll still go back to the research that I talked about previously, that Mr. Adnan taught us the culture of doing research. Because when I talk about research, I also add it with preparations. You know, you can have the equipment that the producer asks you to bring, but now you will have to know how are you going to use the equipment that you have organized. So that takes us to the research. You know, when we talk about sound, you're not talking about sound for films. We're also talking about sound for documentaries, what. Because we are not sound people for only films. We're also for documentaries and any other adverts, what. Yeah. So the requirements are very different. Yeah. And the way they move, they're so different. So this takes us to preparations. How are you preparing? So one day I had this gig when I was told that we are going to shoot a surgery process. They were going to do surgery. You know, surgery, the theaters are very loud, they have noise, but now they are loud. The guys are wearing these are all Viveras, what. So now I ask myself, now what am I going to do? So this was a Mzungu, and I have to impress this Mzungu such that next time when he's coming back, he will think about me. Yeah. So I went to YouTube and then started researching on how these guys wear these costumes and then see how the costumes look like, what. So I saw these guys were wearing these Viveras. I was like, this is not going to be good. I'm going to suffer, oh my God. So now I went to look onto their heads. I still want to thank this Adnan again. You know, Adnan was always doing research, and then we are learning from him. You can go, and then people are like, the costumes are very bad. You know, they don't tell you which costumes we are bringing on set. Yeah. And now this guy goes and then starts putting the mics in the hair. And you're like, oh, okay. When these costumes are very bad, you put it in the hair. And then those techniques, so they broadened, expanded our brains. Yeah. So now, when I looked into this costume, it was very bad. So now I looked at this surgeon, he had this thing wrapped onto his head with this calite, what. So when I reached there in the theater, this Mzungu was on to me. I was like, now, should I go mic? Yeah, you can go mic. No, I started miking. So I went and then started running the cable through this guy. And I brought the cable into the light. The light was like it had this thing looking into direct to this guy's mouth. I was like, wow. So I tapped the mic, looking at this guy's mouth. Yeah. I was so happy. That was a massive chance that I got. Now, this Mzungu was so impressed. Yeah. Then he was like, but where did you study from? Where did you study from? Like,
the finest university in East Africa, of
yes,
course.
because this guy didn't, what this guy think, okay, how people, when they come here, they think we don't know, okay, we are just like optional. Let's go have anything that we will take from Africa. So when we do such things, we make them know that at least we are doing efforts such that we improve on our art.
I thank you so much for not embarrassing us on a global stage.
Yes, thank you very much.
I really like those points, especially because the conversation on sound has to be amplified.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Also, I think as a pro sound recordist or engineer, know about what other departments entail or what their do's and don'ts are. Take time to study other departments. Yeah. Then also, how can you as a sound person be the source of sound that is disrupting set? For instance, when you're on set, phones have to be in silent mode. How can you have your phone on set? How can you sometimes even have data? Because those waves, when data is on, sometimes it interrupts our wireless mics. At least you can't be caught having that. Be on that safe side.
Okay. Jaco data.
Also, there is one problem. This guy is, okay.
Yeah?
We're still talking about lack of experience. But I'm very happy that we are having Multi-Choice Talent Factory every year. I'm one alumni. Right. They give you the opportunity to go study in Nairobi. for her full year.
Paid.
So paid, fully sponsored.
Yeah.
Thank you. You gave me a chance of being on a plane for my first time. It was, yes, they showed me light. So
and you got sound.
Yes, and also UCC, thanking UCC. It is giving master classes, what. Yeah. So those things are really helping us to get those experiences that we've never seen and then ever dreamt of, that we get such chances of learning. Yes, thank you very much.
As someone who has also been certified courtesy of UCC, I cannot say that this country didn't give me anything. Yes, I am a certified voice actor, so I encourage, thank you. I encourage you to not just take these notes in your notebook, but to actually act on them, because the research part is important. It will cover your lack of experience. You went to the University of YouTube and the Muzungu thought, you probably went to his land. I like that. So take that into consideration, and let's respect sound. I feel like that is one of the biggest takeaways from this conversation, because if it carries 60% over production, do we need to negotiate this situation? So I encourage you to continue this conversation on the comments section, and also tag them. Like they said, they are in the business of mentoring and training. They've given you some pointers on where you can go and improve that. And that was a conversation on sound that we will have again. So if you have questions, or if you want some questions answered, you can put them in the comments section, and we will carry on from there. Thank you so much, so much for coming here. And I'd like to thank Isma, I'd like to thank Abubaker for their knowledge, for sharing so freely, and also for being honest, because that's also very important in moving the culture forward. Thank you for watching. My name is Maritza. I'll catch you on the next episode.